what are the consequences for a director of having a company go into insolvent liquidation in the context of director disqualification? The answer is that only a relatively small proportion of directors who have a company that goes into insolvent liquidation, such as compulsory liquidation when it's wound up by the court, or creditors' voluntary liquidation, which is a liquidation procedure initiated by the directors, and subsequently the liquidator is approved by the creditors, but a voluntary procedure. Only a small proportion of directors of such companies will ultimately find themselves either the subject of disqualification proceedings in the form of an order or an undertaking by consent with the insolvency service. But it is something that can happen to a director in the event that their conduct is deemed to be unfit and falling short of the standard determined by the insolvency service in the first instance, but ultimately under the overarching control of the court, which, if a director doesn't agree with the insolvency service's determination of their conduct in terms of fitness, then ultimately it's for the court to decide as to whether or not the director should be subject to a period of disqualification. In every liquidation, liquidator has to do a report. This is insolvent liquidation, not solvent liquidations. In every insolvent liquidation, the liquidator has to do a report on the conduct of the directors to the insolvency service, and there will be a questionnaire that asks a series of questions, and there is then in effect an algorithm which determines whether or not there will be further inquiries undertaken by the insolvency service in relation to that particular director and their conduct. If that case is sifted in and there are further inquiries and it is considered that the director's conduct is unfit and fallen short of the mark, then disqualification can result. But the key thing is, it's not an inevitability. It only arises due to misconduct. It does not arise as a consequence simply of going into liquidation. Questions, queries, concerned, give us a shout. We know insolvency inside out.